All right, all right, all right. Are we live? Let's find out. Let's find out, chat. Uh, we are live. What is up, everybody? What is up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We need to let the Discord know because this is another random one. Times have changed, chat. Times have changed. I used to stream only at like what was it? Late afternoon hours, but your boy got his sleep fixed. All right. For how long? I don't know. That's a totally different question. But for now, I did get my sleep fix, so we're doing these like early streams. So we need to drop some notifications, let the Discord channel know. Get comments pulled up. What's up, Olivia Z, Ivan, LY? What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let me see here. Uh, we've actually got the beard trimmed down a little bit. It's like normally all fluffy and caveman like, but you guys in chat. It's been a while. Okay, it's been a while since we've been able to catch up. But remember the term setback. The term setback. That's on you, bro. It's all up to you. It's all up to you, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, it's up to you what you tell your brain what to fear and what not to fear based on how you behave, based on how you react to it. So if every single day you've got these thoughts coming that are triggering you, these irrational fears, you're not who you are or who you used to be anymore because you're in this place where your brain is wired to be afraid of all these irrational things, all these thoughts going through your head. You know it's not the real you anymore. It's up to you what you do at that point. And I know it's easier said than done. But when I see the word setback being thrown around quite a bit, you need to understand something. It's only a setback if you want it to be. It's only a setback if you let it be. Otherwise, it's just a perfect opportunity, even though I know it's easier said than done, to continue on with your life and show your brain the truth, show your brain what's up. Right, guys? So, if we're going to throw the term setback around, let's make sure we're throwing the right terms around. Is it truly a setback? Because it's only a setback if you allow it to be. Is it truly a setback, or do you have more work to do, more retraining to do? Do you need to get up and go live your life today and prove to your brain that these sensations, that this overprotective protection mechanism is not needed? You tell me, is it truly a setback? Or is it an opportunity to continue retraining your brain? It's up to you. You can be whatever you want it to be. If you want it to be a setback, sure, no problem. If you want it to be a retraining day, a retraining opportunity to continue on with your life today and to continue to show your brain that this alarm is set a little bit too high based on the fact that you're just getting on with your life the best that you can, right? Perfection not required. It's up to you which way you want to go. So if we're going to use the term setback, let's make sure we use it right because it's really up to us, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today. What's up, Jack? What's up, Ollie? Hey, guys, I know how it feels to be in that place where you're like, oh, I've had some good days, and now today's not that great, and I guess I'm just going to go back to the forums, and I'm going to go back to Google, and I'm going to go back to my bed, and I'm going to go back to all the negative habits that put me here to begin with. I know how it feels to be in that place, and there was plenty of times where I did that. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. There was plenty of times, okay, during my recovery about learning about acceptance and trying to get on board with acceptance where I was like, oh, I've started to have some good days. I'm living my life again. I'm trying to do me the best that I can. But today is just so shitty. I'm just going to go back to these bad habits. And sometimes I fell for that. Okay, but you can easily get right back up and get right back on board and get right back on track. Doesn't mean you're back to square one. Go live today, right? Right? And it's not about running around in a panic trying to fill your days with things to do. It's simply about getting on with your day. Like what's better for my mental health? What's better for my brain today now that I'm anxious? To hit the forums, or to go take a shower, or go listen to my favorite song, or go walk my dog, or you get it. We could go on and on and on with a ton of different examples, but I think you get the point, right? I think you get the point. This is not the real you, and it's BS. Then it's up to you if you want it to be a setback, or if you want it to be a perfect opportunity to continue retraining the brain, since the brain only learns when anxiety is turned on, right? So it's really up to you in these moments, on these days where anxiety is a little high or a lot high, to determine whether or not you want that to be considered a setback, or if you want that to be considered a perfect day for you to put in some serious work by just living your life, right? By just living your life. And, like I said, I know it's easier said than done to go do things that you would normally do or enjoy doing, whatever the case may be, when you feel anxious. But that's when you're putting in the most work. So it's up to you if you want to adopt the setback mindset, or the continue to make ton of progress today mindset, right? So I understand exactly how that feels. Um, Ly, if you're facing bullying in school, because I know you've been in here for some time, and you're always talking about bullies and things like that. At some point, I would definitely take it to somebody like your parents and see what they say about it, or whoever, right? Because I can only tell you so much about what to do as far as this bullying is concerned. I will say, um, do not take it to heart. Do not take it personally. That's unfortunately what kids do. These same children will grow up to regret this, right? Because that's what happens. When you're a bully as a child, you normally grow up to regret it because you mature, right? And it's not your fault that these other kids are not mature. It's not your fault that they're taking whatever is built up inside of them out on you. But I will tell you to try not to take it personally. Easier said than done, I know. Try not to take it to heart. Understand that they will regret bullying you one day, once they mature, once they grow up and realize what they've done, right? So, my best advice to you, besides taking it to, maybe your parents or somebody in authority that can actually do something, um, as far as my advice to you goes, though, don't take it personally. These kids are taking out stuff that's built up inside of them out on you, and that is not your problem, nor is it your fault, right? So try not to take it personally. I know it's a pain in the ass to be the victim of bullying, okay? But understand that they really don't know what they're doing. They really don't know what they're doing. They don't realize the impact that it might have on somebody else, and they're selfish, right? They're selfish, and they're not thinking. So understand that. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump into the point of today's stream, telling your brain what to fear and what not to fear based on your behaviors. Now, I love this one. I love this one because when I was going through my journey, at the beginning, I had this false belief, this false mindset, okay, that depending on the thoughts that went through my head and depending on the situations that I found myself in, I may or may not be able to retrain my brain. That was my false belief. I convinced myself that until I had it all figured out, and that was every single worry that would pop in my head, every single thing that triggered me, until I could find a quote unquote solution to all of these things that was going on in my head, I would not be able to heal. That was my false belief, right? So, what I discovered along my way, and what's really, 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 really important, this can be a game changer, to understand while you are on your way, is to understand that no matter what's going through your head, these irrational fears in your head, you don't have to nail it all down to a science. You don't have to find a solution for every single worry that you have, right, in order to heal. Doesn't happen that way. Doesn't happen that way because here's the facts. If you weren't in a tired body, now no matter where you are on the scale, very tired nerves, kind of tired nerves, wherever you are on the scale, if you didn't have tired nerves, and you know this for a fact because you can look back on your past and prove this, then more than likely you wouldn't even care about these worries, right? So the fact that your nerves are popping off over these irrational worries or whatever they're popping off over, you can look back on your past and you can know that this is not the real you. If your nerves weren't tired, this wouldn't bother you nearly as much or at all, right? So as you take this understanding and move forward with it, I want you to also remember that it's up to you how you wire your brain and what you tell your brain to be afraid of or not be afraid of, depending on how you behave and go throughout your day and react to this unnecessary anxiety, right? So let me give you an example. Now, let's say I was sensitized and I had this intrusive worry pop up in my head about, I don't know, let's just pull an example out of the air here. I had an intrusive worry about, oh, I might have a heart attack, whatever, okay? So that's a very common one. I mean, the list goes on and on, but we're just going to pick a very common one there. And let's say that pops up in my head and that causes a bit of a reaction or a lot of a reaction in my tired body. Now, in that moment, I have a choice. I can teach my brain to be afraid of this thought by arguing with it, by running around the house, by doing whatever it is I normally do to try to fight off my anxiety, right? I can go that route, which I've, in this scenario, said person has probably went this route for a very long time, or I can choose to go a new route. I can understand that my body is giving me a suggestion. My mind is giving me a suggestion. Hey, here's this worry. Here's some protection from this worry because I don't know any better. That's your body talking. I don't know any better, so here's some protection from this worry because it might be a real danger. And now I'm going to leave it up to you. That's your body talking to you. Now I'm going to leave it up to you, guy. It's up to you what you want to do in this moment. Do you want to take my anxiety alarm and advice and start pacing around the house and fighting with this thought and fighting with this thought, right? Or do you want to acknowledge that the thought is there? We can do nothing about the thought coming. Just acknowledge that it's there, acknowledge that it brought a false alarm that's not needed, and carry on with my day and go give the dog a bath, right? Even though that thought might still be nipping at you or screaming or whispering or whatever it's doing. Even though that false alarm might come and go in waves when this thought's there, whatever, right? So you have those two choices in that moment. And for so long, you've been going with the first choice, right? Obviously, or you wouldn't be here now, which is taking the suggestion of the mind and body way too seriously and then trying to fight it off. And by fighting it off, okay, telling your brain that there's a problem. Not getting on with your life, fighting, 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 right? And like I said, that's what you've been doing for so long, obviously, or you wouldn't be here. That's what I did for so long. And I'll tell you, it doesn't work. So as you move forward, I want you to understand something. You don't have to fall victim to the false belief that I had, which is that you've got to figure all these thoughts out and come up with all these solutions in order to heal. No, it's completely up to you. It's completely up to you what you want to tell your brain on what to be afraid of or what not to be afraid of. And you know these irrational worries, especially what ifs, you know that you shouldn't be experiencing anxiety over them because they're not a real tiger. They're not a real danger, right? And that's not to say bad things don't happen in life, but that is to say that this anxiety is unnecessary. Correct? So as you go throughout your day, understand that it's not about trying to figure out every worry that comes to your head. As you go throughout your day, understand that it's not about trying to nail it down to a perfect science in order to heal your nerves. If you could come up with solutions to these worries, you already would have. Right? You already would have. So forget trying to do that. Obviously, that's not working. What I want you to understand is that you have a choice. And I know that choice is it's easier said than done. And I keep saying that because I want you to understand that I can relate. But in that moment where you're so triggered by something, I don't know what your thoughts are. I don't know what your cycle of thoughts are. But I can tell you this. In that moment when you're so triggered by something, you've got a suggestion from your mind and body. The alarm is sounding. I know it's a lot easier said than done to go run to the bed, run to the couch, get on the forums, get on Google, do what you've been doing for however many weeks, months, or whatever, right? But obviously you're not sending your brain the right message with that. Obviously, right? Obviously. So I know it's easier said than done to, instead of doing all that you've done for so long when you're triggered, to instead get up and go give your dog a bath, or instead get up and go take a walk, or instead get up and go, take the trash out, clean your space, whatever the case may be, right? Now, like I said, you don't have to rush around in a great panic trying to pack your day full of activities. But getting on with your life in little or big ways in those moments where you're triggered, where you think you have to do something about this thought or anxiety in order to get it to leave you alone. How far has trying to do something about it gotten you? Not very far. Just go on and live your life instead. You are demonstrating to the brain by not making this such a problem when these false alarms come that there is no real danger. Now, again, for the millionth time this stream, because I really like to drive my points home, and you guys know that. I know it's easier said than done to get up and go do whatever it is you enjoy doing or need to do or be productive. I know it's easier said than done to go do that stuff and, instead of running to bed and getting on forums and getting, doing the whole anxiety thing, right? I know it's easier said than done for the millionth and one time, okay? And I know your mind has you convinced. I know your mind has you convinced. What is this guy talking about? How is getting up and getting on with my day and doing things I enjoy when I don't feel like doing them and just being productive and doing things I used to do? How is living my life like I used to live it in little or big ways, right? Gonna take care of this anxiety? Doesn't make sense. I know your mind is trying to convince you of that. I know you want to just keep doing all of the anxiety stuff, all of the forms, all of the staying on the couch all day. I know you want to do that, right? Because your mind has you convinced that you can't decide what your brain fears and what your brain doesn't fear just based on behaviors. But you can. Because I want you to think about something back when you used to live your life, right? And I don't mean you have to jump right back into doing everything that you used to do. You can go at your own pace. But back when you used to live your life, right? Did you sit around and do all the anxiety stuff that you're doing now? No. How do you think your brain determines whether or not this false alarm is needed? It determines that based on how you react to it, based on how you behave towards it. So, if for the past 2 months or whatever, I've been laying in bed all day on forms and not doing jack shit of what I used to do, what do you think my brain is going to assume? Right? And now there's nothing wrong with resting. There's nothing wrong with laying in bed and kicking your feet up and watching a movie. But my point is, when you're anxious, when you're triggered, and you sit there and you cut out everything that you used to do. You no longer do 90% of what you used to do. You're no longer going outside and enjoying the sun, right? You're no longer maybe that's who you was before. Maybe you used to love nature, you used to go outside and you used to sit in the sun, right? Maybe you don't do that anymore. Or maybe you used to love to keep your space nice and clean and fresh, and you don't do that anymore. Or maybe you used to love taking that morning shower and listening to your favorite song and singing it to the top of your lungs, but you don't do that no more. Or maybe you used to love to talk to your friends about this or about that, but you don't do that anymore. Or maybe you used to love to play video games, but you don't do that anymore. Or maybe you used to love to walk your dog, but you don't do that anymore, right? Or maybe you used to love to paint and draw, but you don't do that anymore. What do you think you're telling your brain? Now that you've cut out everything that you used to enjoy and do, and now you just sit in one spot, the same spot every single day. Or maybe you used to love to go into work and talk to your coworkers, but you don't talk to your coworkers anymore, right? You don't talk to your coworkers anymore because you're too busy worrying about anxiety. How do you think that's doing you any behavior or any favors, right? Do you think those behaviors are doing you any favors? Right? Now, again, guys, I don't want you to hear this and rush around in a great panic. Oh, God, I better fill my day full of activities, full of activities, full of. I can never lay down in the bed again. I can never relax again. No, that's not the point. The point is, when you're anxious, when you're triggered, live like you used to live. Go do the things you used to enjoy. There's nothing wrong with resting. There's nothing wrong with kicking your feet up and laying in bed and watching a movie or whatever. But maybe it's time to cut out some of these things, these little anxiety things that you do. Maybe it's time to turn the behaviors up a notch and go live your life that you know you want to live. You want to live it, so why not go live it? And that might mean that you have to take anxiety with you at first. You might have to take anxiety with you at first, but you're going to feel so much better because that's going to do you 10 times the amount of favors as compared to all this anxiety stuff that you're doing. It's going to do you 10 times the amount of favors, right? So, what I really have to ask you is, what do you have to lose? Now, when this stream goes off, you can get back in bed. You can get on the forums. You can keep doing the worry thing on the forum. Or you can take these irrational thoughts with you. You can take these feelings of anxiety with you, and you can go live your life in little or big ways. Go at your own pace. Perfection is not required, right? But you can still go do things in little or big ways. Doesn't mean you have to rush around in a panic trying to fill your day with things, but you can still go do one thing that you enjoy today. Or you can still go do one productive thing today. That's a start. Go at your own pace. Perfection is not required. You can literally tell your brain what to fear and what not to fear based on how you react to these thoughts and these feelings, based on how you behave. What is a reaction? A reaction is a behavior, right? So based on your behavior is what we should be saying. Based on your behavior, you can tell your brain whether or not these thoughts are real dangers or if you're in real danger, right? Easier said than done. But do one thing. If you're at the bottom of the totem pole, just try one thing. Big or small. Go at your own pace. Perfection is not required. You don't have to jam pack your day full. I'm just saying, try at least one thing. Maybe go at some baby steps, right? And you'll start to see that you can tell your brain what to fear and what not to fear based on how you react, aka based on how you behave towards it. Because all anxiety is, at the end of the day, is a protective defense mechanism that watches you and wants to know that you're okay. That's it. And again, there's nothing wrong with being lazy and relaxing. But if you're avoiding just because you want to try to fight off anxiety, that's a bit different. Go do something that you enjoy doing today, even if it's just one thing, and then you can go back to bed. I'd prefer if you instead do many things that you enjoy or try to be productive today. But hey, even if it's just one thing, that's a start. Even if it's just one thing, that's a start, right? So understand, guys, it'll get to the point where you don't have to be mindful of all this. Once you get back to healed, you probably won't even think about anxiety that much, right? And you'll just be living life that you normally do because you enjoy living life. But right now, when you're in this place, it might feel like you're having to force it. It might feel like you're having to force it. Okay, and I get that. But it's going to start to feel natural the more you just get back into life, right? It's going to start to feel more natural the more you get back into life, right? All right, guys, that was the point of today's stream, telling your brain what to fear and not to fear based on your reactions, aka behaviors. All right, so we're going to read some comments now. Let's see. 30 Years Anxiety and Panic books here. I just stumbled upon you and your videos during a panic episode last weekend. Thank you. You helped me tons. No problem. No problem. By panic episode, you mean you kept yourself in that worked up place, waves coming and going. I get it. I've been there. I've been there. Wonder Bro, now I'm only focusing on my actions. I stop expecting to feel anything. I only try to control my conscious mind and my actions and everything I left. So focusing on your actions basically means get on with your day, right? Right? I do these things, but I do them all tensed up. I mean, you know, now that you're mindful of that, because a lot of people are not even mindful of that, maybe you can start to loosen the hold on yourself a little bit. Will there be daily streams? Yeah, we'll get back into our daily streams soon enough. I think everybody in this chat has been through those panicky episodes that seem to drag on all day, where it's like little waves here and there, big waves, and then you calm yourself down a little bit, you start worrying again. We've all been there, we've all done that. So you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy it. Let me see here, guys. There we go. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. I don't know why the OBS update or whatever kind of like broke my slides here, but it did. So, yeah, exactly. I would recommend the same advice for depersonalization, derealization, yes, because what good does fighting it do? Are you getting anywhere by continuing to stress about it or by not getting on with your life? Is it doing you any favors to live that way? No, no, it's not. I haven't quit smoking, Olivia, but I've cut way back. Yeah, I've cut way back. I'm trying to continue to do that. Hey, that's awesome, Michael. It sounds like you're making progress, dude. Proud. Hey, keep at it, man. Sometimes it takes time, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. So close to 10K. We are so close to 10K. Oh my gosh. It's right around the corner. I don't even know what we're sitting at right now, but 10K is right around the corner. Yeah, they will, Nico, if you just keep getting on with life. Try not to give them too much credit. I mean, that's really what it all comes down to, not giving it too much credit. That's really what it all comes down to at the end of the day. How have you been, Edward? I haven't seen you in a minute, dude. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. All right, let's see here. We can switch on back over. There we go. There we go. Wait, where did my... let's see. What's up, Frank? How you doing, dude? Christina, what's up? Try to get some music going again. the fact that I know my symptoms are due to anxiety does not help calm them. Yeah, I mean that the same could be said for anybody with anxiety, really. Even though I know my thoughts are irrational, it doesn't calm them. Even though I know my OCDs are irrational, it doesn't calm them. And that's why the only thing that works is getting on with your life. It's behaviors, accepting positive behaviors. That's how the brain learns. We can tell somebody with OCD or somebody with irrational fears or somebody with health anxiety all day long. The doctors can do it too. All day long, we can tell them that it's irrational, right? But that doesn't really calm anything because at this point, you've wired your brain to be afraid of this thought or this worry or whatever the case may be, right? So knowing these things, although it may take the edge off and it may help some people, knowing these things for a majority of people does not quite calm at 100%. What does is true acceptance, and that means taking the anxiety with you, taking the irrational thoughts with you, and just getting back into life, proving to your brain by getting back into life that all is well and that all is good. Go at your own pace. Perfection is not required, little or big ways. That's the way I like to put it so that nobody feels pressured. But, you know, that's the way the brain works. I've met so many people, including myself, that have had like very, very, very irrational thoughts. And because we know they're irrational, that doesn't necessarily take it away. Okay? You can know it's irrational, but you need to prove that to your brain. And that's a point that we like to make a lot here on the channel. I like to say, you know the truth, but you have to prove that to your brain. That's the way I love to put that. I love to put it that way because knowing the truth is one thing. In your heart, knowing the truth is one thing. But showing your brain that these things are not real dangers, that's a completely different ballgame. So for a long time, my own mantra was, I know the truth and now I need to prove that to my brain. How do I prove that to my brain? Getting on with life, living my life. I don't necessarily feel like doing these little things, right? I would rather lay in bed instead of going outside and walking my dog or whatever the case may be. There's a million examples, right, about how you could live your life. Um, but again, my mantra, I know the truth, but my brain needs to be shown the truth, right? I know the truth, but my brain needs to be shown the truth. So what's going to do you more favors? Knowing that that's how the brain works as far as anxiety is concerned. What's going to do you more favors after the stream goes off today, chat? To continue to, I don't know, binge watch my videos? Is that going to do you more favors? Probably not if you already know the advice. What's going to do you more favors is to get up and go do something you enjoy. It could be something little, it could be something big. It's really up to you. Go at your own pace. Nobody's pressured to do anything. Go at your own pace. You make the rules here, right? But at the same time, you got to remind yourself, I know this is irrational. I know this is not needed, but I need to prove that to my brain. So I'm gonna go outside and enjoy the sun today and listen to some music or something. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. You don't have to jam pack your day full. You can go again at your own pace, right? You can go at your own pace. Maybe you just do one thing today. It's a lot better than what you did yesterday, right? Now, that doesn't mean that the anxiety, the false alarm just diminishes right away. It might take the edge off, but sometimes it takes time to prove to the brain, hey, I'm good. But you can make rather quick progress. You can make rather quick progress. You really, really can, no matter how long you've been suffering. So keep that in mind. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream, Olivia. Yeah, that was a good one. I've always liked that analogy. I feel like it helps people, get it. What made me start doing videos? Just wondering. Once I came out of, I went through 3 bouts of sensitization, and it wasn't until my very last bout that I truly learned about anxiety and acceptance. That I really started to dedicate to living my life and just retraining my brain. And once I came out of that, I was like, you know what? There might be people out there that need this same advice. There might be people out there that need a little pat on the shoulder, a little bit of motivation. They, there might be people out there that want to hear it from somebody who's been there. So I was like, okay, we'll try the whole YouTube channel thing. And then it turned out to be something that, honestly, at first I didn't think it was going to turn out to be. But here we are. Yeah, we're just hanging out now, Dwayne. But I mean, the title pretty much says it all, right? I try to do that. I don't like to leave any mysteries in my videos. Like I try to put exactly the point of the video in the title, just right there in the title. No clickbait. No clickbait. We don't have time for clickbait. Yeah, basically. I think you summed it up pretty well there, actually. In a nutshell, just live your life and accept your anxious thoughts and feelings for what they are without as much of a reaction to it because nobody's required to be perfect, and just live your life. It's a beautiful day here in Michigan, so I will go outside to do yard work. Awesome. Thank you for your wisdom. I have an appointment with someone who will teach me how to meditate and be mindful in 1 hour. I mean, those are great skills, those are great tools, but I don't want anyone here to get confused. I don't want anyone here to think, "Oh, I've got to learn how to meditate to recover," or whatever. As long as you keep it simple. Live your life, okay? Live your life. You might have to take these anxious feelings and thoughts with you while you live your life, but just get back into your life, and anxiety will take care of itself, right? That's my main message. So, even though I think it's absolutely amazing that you're going to learn those tools, I don't want anyone here to think, "Oh, I've got to do all this and I've got to do all that in order to." No, that's not true, right? I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, but I don't want anyone to think that. So, I don't even want you to think that. You should absolutely learn those tools. They're good life tools. But understand, to heal anxiety, anxiety will take care of itself if you just get back into life, right? Let those thoughts come and go, let those feelings come and go. Don't react to them as much, right? I know there might still be somewhat of a reaction that you can't really help there in the body, but just don't give them as much credit and get back into living. That's so important. When you get back into living, all will slowly become clear. It will. And that's going to require you to make some choices where you're like, you know what? I really don't want to get up and go listen to my favorite music in the sun today. Just one of many examples. But I'm going to do it anyway, right? Yeah, I agree with you. There's no need for clickbait. Like, the reason I put the point of the stream like right in the title is just so people don't click on my channel, because I know how anxious, how anxiety works, right? So I don't want people to click on my channel and be like, they see a video where it's like, you got to do this thing in order to, whatever. I don't want people to click on my channel, see that, and be like, oh, now I'm nervous. Am I doing this thing? Am I not doing this thing? Oh gosh, I gotta watch this stream and make sure. I don't want anyone to do that. That's why I just put it all right there in the title. Just live your life. Cause that used to be me. I don't know about you guys, but I used to get online, I used to get on whatever, whatever, and try to look for advice, and then I'd find something that would be like, make sure you're doing this thing. And then I'd get nervous just reading that, because I'd be like, am I doing this thing? I gotta read all this from front to back to make sure I'm doing this thing, whatever this thing might be. I hate that shit. There's really no need to clickbait anxiety videos. I mean, just get to the point right there in the title. That way, if they don't even want to watch the video, they don't even have to watch the video. It's right there in the title, right? Make it quick and easy. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people love clickbait. I don't know. How have you guys been though? I know it's been like my stream schedule has been a little wonky. It's been a little weird. I've uploaded twice in a few weeks, I think. I know it's not like daily like we're used to around here. I've just been taking a step back, working on things in my life. Don't worry about me, chat. Don't if you don't see me consistently upload on the daily, don't start worrying. Chances are I'm just taking a step back, working on some other projects, working on some other things. You don't need to worry about it. But how have you guys been? Good, I hope. Making some progress, learning, growing, and hopefully today you decide to go live your life. Little or big ways, perfection not required. I love to say it. Chill out, Nightbot. Chill out. Also, what do you guys think about the beard? I decided to go for the shaved, trimmed look, like really close, instead of bushy, like chin stuff going on and all that. What do you guys think? You like it? Is it good? Does it suit me? I mean, I'm currently bald too at the moment, so I've got the bald look going on with the trimmed, shaved beard. I don't know. I think I like it. I think it suits me. What do you guys think? Definitely been making progress. That's awesome. It's just hard and scary remembering it's been over a year since I fell into the rabbit hole. Well, don't let that scare you because everybody's allowed to go at their own pace. Everybody's absolutely allowed to go at their own pace. There's no such thing as a time frame. So don't let that scare you. Don't let other people's comments scare you. Don't let other people's journeys scare you because you cannot compare yourself to anybody else. That is a huge, huge mistake. You know, don't compare yourself to anybody else because there's no point because you can't do it accurately. So that there's no point in doing it. So just because it's been this long or that long, it doesn't mean it has to continue to be that long. There's no such thing as a time frame here. It could be weeks, months, whatever. You know, tomorrow. You know, there's really no such thing as a time frame here. It's really up to are you living your life, right? And eventually you're going to come out of this one way or another. One way or another, you're going to come out of this. I'm just trying to help you get there. Basically, is what it comes down to. One way or another, your nerves are going to heal. One way or another, you're going to overcome this. This is all going to be a memory one day. One way or another, you will get there. I'm just trying to help you along. I'm just trying to give you that extra push, that extra little bit of motivation, that little bit of advice, right? I'm just here to tell you if you want to get over this sooner rather than later, get back into living your life in little or big ways, okay? And you'll see how this helps you. You might not see it at first, but you'll eventually start to see how this helps you. So don't let time frames scare you. Don't let, whatever your mind wants to say, blah, blah, blah. Let it say what it wants to say. Get back into living your life, right? Little or big ways, perfection not required. That's going to become my motto before long if I keep saying it long enough. But it's great that you're making progress and you should be proud of yourself. Focus on the progress, not the problems, right? And enjoy your day today. That's awesome, Craig. I'm glad. It's good that you're having so many good days. Just keep at it. You don't have to give these intrusive negative thoughts so much credit, nor do you have to give anxiety itself so much credit. Just enjoy your day, live your life. Even though you might have to take anxiety and these thoughts with you for the time being, by living your life, you're demonstrating to your brain, hey, it's all good, right? And I know your mind has you convinced that's not going to work. You need something more drastic than that. But just see for yourself, right? And I know you said, Craig, that you've been having a lot of good days, and I'm like, well, what did you do on these good days? And you're like, well, I helped my friend do this, and I did that, and I'm like, are you starting to see the connection here? Are you starting to see that on the days where you started to feel better, or the days that you had some relief, that somewhere in that time frame you were doing something besides obsessing. You were living in little or big ways, right? Just goes to show you. It just goes to show you it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that people come in and they're like, I'm starting to feel better, and I'm like, well, what have you done different? And they're like, well, yesterday I went and I did this. I watched this movie yesterday. I hung out with my friend yesterday. I walked my dog yesterday. I had a good meal. They tell me these things that they've done throughout their days, and I'm like, I don't think that's a coincidence. You started watching my videos, you got back into living, now you're coming in here saying you're starting to feel better. I ask you what you did, you're like, well, I didn't really do anything besides, I accepted that these thoughts are come and go, and I accepted these feelings, and I just did some things I enjoyed, and I got back into life in little ways, and it's really all I did. And I'm like, well, that's not a coincidence. You're showing your brain the truth, right? It's not a coincidence. Again, that doesn't mean you have to run around in a panic trying to fill your day full of activities. It simply means do little things you enjoy. Even if it's just one thing, that's a start, right? Even if you just get back in your life in little ways, that's a start. There's nothing wrong with resting and relaxing, but there's a difference between resting and relaxing and laying in bed because you feel anxious and you would rather lay in bed than go brush your teeth or listen to your favorite song and take that shower or whatever, whatever. There's a difference there. Recovery and freedom from anxiety, guys, lies on the other side of just getting back into living your life, right? Why did that start up all of a sudden? I had that muted. That was a little creepy. Oh well. Recovery, guys, recovery and freedom lies on the other side of just getting back into living your life. There's no magic phrase that you're going to hear me say or really anybody else that's just going to snap you, that doesn't exist. Recovery and freedom lies on the other side of getting back into life, even though maybe on day 1 you're not going to feel like it. You're going to think, what's the point of taking that shower or giving my dog a bath or taking that walk with my dog or watching that funny movie? What's the point of that? You're not going to feel like it. I'm here to tell you. You're not going to feel like it. Expect that. You're not going to see how it's going to make a difference. You're going to be like, how the hell is any of this going to make a difference? That's going to be your mindset probably at first. It was mine. But understand that recovery and freedom does lie on the other side of getting back into living, guys. It really does. It really, really does. And in your current mindset, I know you can't see that. I know you can't see that. I know your mind's saying a lot of different things right now, and I know you can't see how living your life is going to help you. I know you can't see how doing these simple little things is going to help you. I know you can't see how taking these thoughts and feelings with you while you go do things that you would normally do or try to have a good day or productive day, right? I know you can't see how that's going to help you. I know you can't see it right now, but just get started because you've got nothing to lose, right? And just see what happens. See what happens. Hey, it sounds like you're making progress, dude. Just some tiredness, which I mean, you got to give yourself some credit. I mean, your body has been through a lot, so it's pretty normal to be exhausted, right? Waves come and go. Yeah, you're doing great though, Craig. I mean, look how far you've come. You got to look at how far you've come. All right, guys, we're gonna switch over to post stream real quick. Craig, dude, I'm glad I checked my phone. Thank you so much for the $50 dono. I didn't even realize. I didn't even realize. Thank you so much for that, Craig. I truly appreciate it, man. Thank you, thank you. Let's get that updated. Everybody in the chat that's in here right now. I don't know how many people are in here, but give Craig a shout out, man. Truly appreciate it, Craig. Shout out Craig with the $50 tip, breaking the tip goal all by himself. Hey, man, seriously, again, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. You are awesome. Thank you, thank you. Hashtag Craig in the chat. Hashtag Craig in the chat. You didn't have to do that, but I truly appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, Craig. Thank you again so much, buddy. Helps me out a ton. Appreciate it. Yeah, man, there's nothing wrong with looking at how far you've come, with giving yourself a pat on the back. There's nothing wrong with being proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself. You're getting back into life, you're living, you're confronting this stuff and seeing it for what it is and sometimes that takes it takes practice, right? But the fact that you're making progress, be proud of that. Be proud of that, for real. Be proud of that. You know, be like, I might not be 100%, but look at how far I've come. That's something you could tell yourself. And then as time goes on, you won't even care about percentages, right? So the thing about it is you'll slowly start to lose interest in this stuff altogether, where you won't even worry about percentages the more you start getting back into life, right? Where you won't even worry about percentages even more. And I know your body and brain's going to be pulling you in the opposite direction of wanting to live your life. I know it's going to try to pull you in that opposite direction. And I know it's going to tell you, what is this going to do to help me? But just see for yourself, guys, right? And I know that's like a huge hurdle for some people to overcome because, again, your brain just has you convinced that living your life is too simple. It's not going to do anything. But just see what happens as you continue forth doing this each day. Just see if you don't start to feel better because you're starting to enter into that real you mindset because you're starting to demonstrate to your brain the truth, right? And when that happens, these irrational thoughts, you start to become more rational and you're like, wow, why did I even care about any of these irrational things? And I know for some people that feels like some sort of magic. It's not magic, right? You're just demonstrating to your brain the truth. Hey, what's up, Andy? How you doing, buddy? It's been a minute. It's my fault this time. I've been slacking on the streams. I've been focusing on a few other things going on in my life, but regardless, it's good to see you guys. Regardless of whose fault it is, it's good to see you guys. I'll be back to face cam in just a second, chat. Just grabbing a quick smoke. See, the thing about it is, somebody mentioned had I quit smoking. I've cut way back, and the reason, a big part of cutting way back, is that I no longer smoke in my space in my room. Period. Like I don't smoke here. Period. So, and that makes it a lot easier to cut back. It makes it a lot easier to cut back now that I don't smoke in my space. I make myself get up and either go completely outside or at least to the bathroom if I want to smoke. So I think I've not smoked in here in at least 4 or 5 days now, and that helps me cut back so much because honestly, sometimes you're just like I don't feel like having to go to the bathroom just to smoke a cigarette. I can put it off until a little bit later, and that's helped me cut back a lot. Instead of the convenience of being able to reach over and grab one, and it's helped me a lot. Good to see you, Vacay Fury. I've been really busy. Recently left my job to go self-employed, so been doing lots of work. That's awesome, dude. Chase your dreams. Did this stream just start? No, we've been going at it for about an hour now. Something like that, about an hour, Craig, I think. Thank you again, Craig, for the tip, dude. That's so generous of you. I really appreciate it, man. Really, really appreciate it. But since I haven't been smoking in here, I figured, well, you know what? I'll give the whole like space a deep cleaning, right? Like carpets, walls, ceiling, and it was nasty. I can tell you guys, I will never smoke in here again. It was nasty. It's like day 5 or something, day 4 of me deep cleaning this space, and I'm still getting stuff off the walls. I mean, now it's pretty much almost 100% in here. Almost, but it took me 4 days of deep cleaning to get all the tar off the walls and the ceiling. It was gross. It was gross. So I'm not going back to that no more. I'll go smoke in the bathroom and blow it up the vent or go outside or whatever, but I'm not smoking in my area anymore because 4 days of deep cleaning, and I was still getting tars off the wall. I mean, it's pretty much good now, but 4 days worth of tar, like of scrubbing to get all the tar, it's just gross. It's gross, and that's helped me cut back a lot too on smoking because seeing that for yourself is just like ugh. Ugh. Anyway, I can tell that I can already breathe a lot better. I can already breathe a lot better, not just from the space being so clean, but just from smoking so much less. I can already breathe so much better. So Andy, are you just like completely focused on your YouTube thing or Twitch thing? I think you do both, right? Is that what you mean by like completely self-employed? Yeah, you didn't. I mean, you didn't really miss anything you don't already know, Craig. And that's really the thing about my channel. It's mostly each stream is just a rehashing of things that people who have been here anyway already know. And it's just little reminders and just a way to kind of sharpen your knowledge a little bit, get you back on track if you need it, right? So you didn't really miss anything that you don't already know because you've been here for a while. And again, we were talking about earlier how I always put it right there in the title of the stream what we're talking about. So, for example, it says telling your brain what to fear and what not to fear based on your behaviors. I mean, that's pretty much self-explanatory right there. I don't like to do clickbait. So it's like if people don't have time to watch the stream or whatever, they can literally just read the title of the stream and they've already got it. After 25 years, I'm fully switched from smoking cigarettes to vaping. I can breathe better and I'm saving a fortune. I'm in the UK, but realize laws vary elsewhere. Yeah, I tried the vaping thing. And I guess I just wasn't a huge fan. I don't know. Like it tasted a lot better. I enjoyed the flavors, but I couldn't kick like the cigarette thing for the vaping thing. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't make the switch completely. So now I'm just kind of like I don't vape anymore. I tried that years ago. Now it's just cigarettes, but I'm trying to cut way back on them. So I'm trying to cut way back on them, and if anybody's watching this who is also trying to cut back on smoking, I'm telling you, don't underestimate the power of making yourself not smoke in your space. Wherever your space is, make yourself get up and go smoke somewhere else. Preferably outside is where I try to go, but if it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, I will go in the bathroom and use the vent or whatever. But make yourself inconvenience yourself when it comes to smoking, and you'll cut back. You will cut back naturally. I promise. It makes it a lot easier. At least it worked for me. I don't know. Might work for you too. Let me see. I guess we could get some music going since we're not doing anything. One day at a time, Craig. You're leaps and bounds ahead of where you once was when I first met you. I'll tell you that. So let's not stress ourselves out too much worrying about, oh, I'm not 100% yet, or I still have this fear or that fear. It's great that you want to overcome them, and you will. You will if you stay on this path that you're going down. Um, but what I'm telling you is, let's not worry too much about how far we've got to go, so to speak. Let's be proud of ourselves for how far we've came. and let's stay on track, right? Because you really have, dude. You've come a long way since the first time that I ever spoke to you. A long way. I don't know if you realize it or not, but from the outside looking in, you've come a very long way, and you have nothing but things to be proud of. So don't beat yourself up for still having this fear or that fear. Be proud of how far you've come, and just stay on track. Do you watch anime? I don't, but it's something that I've always wanted to try to get into, if that makes sense. Ugh. I don't actively watch anime, but it's always interested me, if that makes sense. I'm always like, I bet there's a lot of good animes out there that I would really thoroughly enjoy, and then I just never watch them. But I'm open for suggestions. I'm open for suggestions. I have Amazon Prime, so if you know any good animes on Amazon Prime, I may give them a try at some point. Death Note is the best beginner anime, I think. I've heard so much about it. I've heard so much about it. It's definitely like one of the most popular, right? I think, as far as anime goes. I don't know. You mentioned anime, and everybody talks about Death Note. All right, guys, we just passed that 1 hour mark. We're like 3 minutes over the hour mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this one here. Beautiful people, but it's been a good one. It's great to catch up with you guys. I love seeing you guys. It's good to see so many people in the chat making progress. Congratulations. Keep it up and go live your life today. You don't have to binge watch my videos, right? Once you got the message, catch the new streams if you want, but go live your life, right? Now we are so close. Okay, one last thing I want to talk about. We are so close to 10K. In fact, we're going to go see exactly where we're sitting at before we shut the stream down. Okay, we are sitting at 9,710 subs. We are so close to that 10K mark, guys. So if you're watching this right now thinking to yourself, should I subscribe to this guy? Should I subscribe to this channel? Is he cool enough for that? Like, do I like the vibe, right? The answer to that question is yes. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. We are so close to 10K. I love you guys. Beautiful day here. I'm going to go enjoy it. Stay awesome. You are on the right track. Keep going. Nothing can stop you today. All right. I love you. And until next time, as always, right there, check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Vacate Fear, Facebook,